Hello everybody, welcome to the channel if you're new here, welcome back if you are not. It's Baby Jesus here with another gold making guide, and in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Now, in a bunch of the different message boards and discords that I'm in for trading on NewWorld and making gold, a lot of people have been talking about corrupted lodestones and how they're the be-all end-all, they're settling for a ton of gold. And I just wanted to do a quick breakdown with you guys to make sure you're making the most educated decision possible when it comes to your gold making. Now, before we get too far into the video, I do just want to say if you find anything beneficial or informative in this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and helps us out greatly. Now, on the opposite here, if you don't like the video, please make sure to leave a comment down below on how I can improve on future content. At the end of this video, I will also show you a little thing that I love selling still. Sells for a ton of gold. You can make a bunch with it if corrupted lodestones are not for you on your server. Now, that being said, I can obviously only speak for my server, so I'll be giving you numbers that are relevant to, once again, my server, so that you can make the most educated decision for yours. The numbers will change, but the formulas and the calculations will remain the same. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Excuse me. Now, like I said, we're going to be talking about corrupted lodestones today. Now, corrupted lodestones used to be non-sellable. They are sellable now, and that has caused a lot of people to get into selling them. And the reason why they started selling so much and people started really getting into them is because they have a really high price point. You guys can see on my server they're selling for $588. A couple days ago they were selling for closer to $700. You guys can see here $600 seems to be the norm right now. That might be where it plateaus, but it was very much mostly at $700 before maybe, I guess, the beginning of the weekend. So now you guys can see there's 3 pages of them. This guy's lost his mind, but you guys can see 700 was where they're at, but right now they're selling at 580. So we're only going to be able to use numbers that are relevant right now. So I've taken all numbers that are from the trading post to see if lodestones are feasible to buy the materials to then subsequently sell them. Now, obviously, you can go farm all of these materials through the corrupted portals and the various different corrupted events on the map. You guys see, you can go to the corrupted portals. You guys can go to the corrupted portals, all of them. And the higher level, the higher level the portal, the higher level materials you will get from them. But if you don't want to do that, you want to see if you can turn a profit just sitting at the trading post and buying up materials to then subsequently sell them once you upgrade them or just in and of themselves. We're gonna break that down. So that being said, I've went ahead and I've grabbed all the numbers here for you guys from my server to see if you guys can sit at the trading post and make money by buying the various different materials to make the lodestone. So to make a corrupted lodestone, all you need is 2 of the crystals. To make crystals, you need 4 of the shards. Or sorry, 3 of the shards. To make shards, you need 4 of the fragments, and to make fragment, you need 4 of the slivers. All of these gold numbers to the right of them, behind the @ symbol, is going to be the individual cost of buying one of the respective items, and the cost beside it is going to be the cost if I want to buy the subsequent levels base materials. So if I want to buy enough slivers to make a fragment, it would take 5 of these, therefore it's a 10 or 50 gold sliver cost. These numbers at the start here are the multiplication factor for each tier above. So what that means is, for example, here at the crystal, you're going to need 60 of the slivers, or you'll need to buy 12 of the fragments, or 3 of the shards. So that's what all of these mean. It's just a quick reference point to see if you're using these calculations on your own market and you want to just do some quick math and see if it's worth it for you. You can use these numbers. So you guys can see, I'll just go double check to see if the numbers are still relevant. That's not what I wanted to do. Just so you guys can see that I'm not just pulling things out of my behind here. Corrupted slivers are selling for 10 gold apiece, as they were in my calculation. Corrupted fragments were selling for 15, I believe. They still are. They could be closer to 20. This guy's only sold 1, or is only selling 1. Could be closer to 20, but again, for the argument's sake, in this calculation, we're going to use that 15 because that's what it is on the market. I'm not going to hypothesize that's going to go higher because that defeats the entire purpose here. You guys can see shards are selling for 90, or they should be. Oh, I'll just go here. I can't spell. Still selling for 90. Again, could be 95, could be closer to 100, but we're not going to just guess where they're going to be selling. And then the crystals are selling for 300 apiece. You guys can see here, the crystals selling 300 a piece. Could be higher, but there seems to be a decent amount of them at 300. We're going to assume that that's where they are. And obviously, the item of the hour is the lodestone, and the lodestone is selling for 580 on my server, like you guys saw at the beginning. So, it's very simple, guys. What you're using this formula to do is to determine where, or whether or not at all, it's profitable to buy one of the respective materials to craft the next tier of material. So, you want to know is, if you can start with a sliver, can you turn a profit by the time you get to a lodestone, or to a crystal, or to a shard, or to a fragment? Or if you're better off to just sell the base material. And in this case, if you just have slivers, you are better off just selling them. You guys can see the multiplication factor is this first number here. So you guys can see, if you were to take your slivers, if you had 5 of them, and make a fragment, you would be losing effectively 35 gold. Because you could have sold those individual slivers for 50 each. Now, on the next tier, you guys can see, if you were to use slivers to make shards, you could have made 200 gold by selling them individually, or you can sell a shard for 90 gold. Or, if you were to buy the fragments at their cost, at 15 gold, you could turn a profit of 30 gold. So this is where it gets interesting. If you were to buy the slivers, you're losing a ton of gold. You're losing 110 gold. But if you were to buy it as a fragment, individually, and not as the sliver, you're going to turn a profit. The next tier, you guys can see here, crystals. The multiplication factor again, if you were to just do it with slivers, you're losing 300 gold. In this example, and the numbers that are on my server, don't do this. That just should make sense to all of you. Unless you're using them for your own purposes, and you're not trying to make gold with them, don't do this. You're losing 300 gold per unit. That doesn't make any sense. But, if you're to do it with fragments, you can make 120 gold apiece. And then, obviously, if you're doing it with the shards, just buying them on their own again, you can make 30 gold apiece. Now, we did see that the fragments is only one on the market at 15. This could very well jump up to 20, and all of a sudden, all these numbers become very, very different. But, for the time being, we're just going to use these. And you guys can see here, crystal, by buying either shards or fragments, is profitable. If you're using slivers, you're losing a ton of gold. Now, obviously, the trend is probably going to stay the same with the lodestone. You guys can see here, if you were to use slivers, sell the slivers. Unless you want to lose 620 gold apiece. Now, if you were doing it with the fragments, you can make, a decent amount of gold here. You can make 220 gold per piece. So, slightly better profit margins than here. Or, sorry, slightly lower profit margins than here, pardon me. Just because it's not exactly double the price. So, with the shards, you can still turn a profit, but very barely, or very slim. And if you were to buy it at the crystal cost, it's 600 gold, so you're going to be losing 20 gold apiece. Now, obviously, this is not taking into consideration the bonus item factor. So whenever you are crafting, as you guys are aware by this point, I'm assuming, whenever you're crafting a material, be it Arcana, be it stone cutting, be it smelting, you have the slight chance of getting free items. So if you're crafting crystals, you have the off chance of getting free crystals, which if that's the case, you can make a ton of gold on those free items. But if you're crafting fragments, or if you're just buying them and then crafting, you still have the opportunity to get free ones, which obviously if you're getting free ones, crystal is going to be your nicest spot because you're going to make the most money, but you're probably going to have the most fragments if that's where you're buying them to then subsequently craft the next tiers. Now, guys, this doesn't only prove, or this isn't only relevant for the corrupted slivers, fragments, shards, crystals, and lodestones, or the lodestone tier list, if you will. This is relevant for all crafting materials. This is the multiplication. These are the calculations you should be doing at any given time if you are looking at crafting lumber, if you're looking at crafting or stone cutting, smelting, or maybe less smelting than anything else, but weaving. All of these are things that you should be taking into consideration whenever you are trying to maximize the goal that you're making based on your farming. Or if you're out there buying them to see what you can actually do, because those free items are actually game-changing. Very, very much so. They are going to be the difference maker on whether or not you're making a decent profit. This is a respectable profit here, as is this if you're using the fragments. But if you're getting a free lodestone, all of a sudden your profit margin just went through the roof. Or if you're getting a couple of free crystals, the same thing. Your profit margin is going through the roof. Now that's a variable that's very hard to calculate, so that's why I don't put it in these. But it's definitely something to keep in the back of your mind. Now, I did mention I'll show you guys something that I really do enjoy selling. It is something that I've sold since basically I started playing the game. It has always done well for me, and that is of course Arcana. So wisps, essences, quintessence, the whole just motes, even if you want to sell the base level, and the one that has always done well for me seems to be the Soul Essence tier. Now, I have made a video on this in the past of all the different tiers of the Arcana items and where you should be selling them, if at all. And Soul always seems to be the resounding winner. Now, it follows a very similar leveling scheme as the Corrupted Slivers and the Corrupted Lodestone tier, in the sense that it's 5 motes to a wisp, 4 wisps to an essence, 3 essence to a quintessence. You know, you just subtract 1. Which means that if you're looking here, 82 cents, and then if you look at the essence tier, 67. That is a lot of gold. You can make a lot of money with this, or a lot of gold, pardon me. So if the lodestones don't work for your server, a fallback plan should always be this Arcana tier list here, and you can just go take a look at each and every one of the different elements and see which one is working well for your server. But guys, I just wanted to touch base on that to make sure you're being you are the most educated possible when it comes to making gold. I just want to make sure that you aren't just blindly going and selling those lodestones when you are in fact maybe not even turning a profit, and even less so, maybe even losing money. That's going to be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did find anything beneficial in the video, please make sure to leave a comment down below. Like the video, subscribe if you really enjoyed it, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya!